Hi, I'm Joshie, and I live in this 5x8 tiny home full-time. And in this video, I want to talk about my bed, why I chose it, how do I like it, and if I would make it this way again. Now, to give you some context, my tiny home is built on an interstate 5x8 trailer, and it's actually not even 5 feet this way. It's 4 something. So there's no way that I could sleep, east to west like this. I have to sleep this way. And having 8 feet of length, I'm about 6 feet. So when I built this trailer, I just laid down here, drew a line where my head was, and boom, that's how long my bed was going to be. And whatever was left over was going to be for my, nice stainless steel sink here and my composting toilet. So that's why I built it the way that I built it. And coming around to the side, I'll give you an angle of the inside here. You can see the TV here. And this is just an L-shaped seating here that I got. This big swivel table that pops down. And yeah, I know it looks kind of funny with the couch under the TV, but a lot of times when I'm not watching TV, I sit here and I will swivel my table this way. And then when I'm sitting here like this, well, I'll jump in here. It gives me a view of the outside like that. While it does look funny, it does serve a purpose, because sometimes my head is there when I make it into a bed, and also I need it for my feet when I make this into my bed. Okay, so now I'll show you in real time how long it takes to make my bed at night. And first I got to take this table off, and I have this swivel mount that needs to come off, and put that down. And then actually, since this is an L shape, I had to make a custom piece of wood that I have sitting here, which kind of matches the walls so it blends in. And this piece just fills in the space here. And then I gotta do some aerobics jump up here. And this is the most common part of all van builds that have a convertible bed, is that the middle table pops down. I got one long piece here, one short piece here. And I heard you always want to make the cushions a little longer, so when you smush them down, they stay. So that's why it needs to be smushed down. These pillows double as my sleeping pillows. And then these two pieces just pop down here, like so. And then this whole size of my Texture's convertible bed is pretty much a queen size bed. And this was plenty of room for me and my wife to sleep in here for the 6 months that we were traveling around in here. So the big question is, do I like my bed? And that's a difficult question to answer. I like it because I get to have a small trailer and utilize my living space as my bed space. I do hate it when I'm super tired and I want to convert the bed. So like everything else in the RV and van life, it's a trade-off, right? If I had a full queen bed in the back or something, it would just add more weight, eat into my miles per gallon more, and also the cost, right? That would cost more. So I guess in a nutshell, I don't like my bed, but I like that I don't have to drag around other things. And also, I built my bed by just having some waterproof Amazon fabric, and I used corrugated plastic as a backing here, and I just glued it together. And that made my cushion. And that's because the cushions had the table for the support. But for the bench seating here, I actually have plywood underneath it, and I drilled 2 holes to allow air to escape when you sit down on it. And then I just pulled it tight and used a staple gun and stapled everything on the sides. So building it this way without actually sewing cushions or anything was super fast and easy. Building the bed and the cushions was the last thing that I did in the build, and we did it the morning before we left, and it turned out fine. It's worked out for 8 months. I would say that the only downside to building it this way is cleaning it. I do carry a spot shampoo with me because I have dogs, so I usually use that to do a quick shampoo on the top every now and then. But yeah, this way is not going to last forever. I can already tell that these probably need to be replaced soon, but it's about $50 in fabric, and I don't really want to spend that. And the next thing I want to talk about is the cushion thickness itself. Now, when I did this whole build, I did it in under 3 weeks, and I didn't have much time to research or check things out that well. So I actually first bought like a 5-inch mattress, but quickly realized that in such a small space, there was not enough room for it. So then I had to quickly order the night before just a 2-inch mattress topper to make my bed. Do I recommend a 2-inch mattress topper? No. But from what I could see with the actual 5-inch mattress, that wouldn't work either. And the reason being is that when you're trying to make your couch also your bed, you got to think about firmness, right? Laying on a bed is totally different when you're sitting all day on your bed. And those thick Amazon beds they sell, they're not firm at all. But also my 2-inch mattress topper is not thick enough. That's why I wind up having this extra blanket that I sleep on. And here you can kind of see when I put pressure on here, how thin it actually is. It's pretty thin, right? So if you're a back sleeper, this actually might work for you, because sleeping on a hard surface is pretty good for your spine. But if you're a side sleeper, just forget it. You might want to add something like this or thick pajamas to wear. So for me, it works out pretty good. I've gotten used to it. But when I do sleep with jeans on, I do wake up in the middle of the night night with my hip hurting only because the jeans have a thick seam on it. Other than that, I'm often sitting here working, so the thickness is actually perfect for me. It's comfortable enough for sitting and gives me some good support in my back. If I were to build this exact build all over again, I would take more time in researching. I think about 3 inches of a stiffer foam would be perfect for this style. And honestly, in this size build in a 5x8 space, you really can't fit a full-size mattress in here anyways. So do I recommend it? If you're trying to save space, absolutely. You can get used to it. It might look kind of annoying with me doing it in my video, but after several weeks of doing this, you get used to it real fast. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to save space and money, just go with a convertible bed. You can absolutely get used to it. It's not going to be super annoying as you think to build every night. Especially if you're a weekend warrior or someone that's not doing this full time, a convertible bed is absolutely the way to go. But yeah, maybe just go with a different mattress topper. I can actually change my mattress topper and covers pretty easily, but it's probably going to cost me an extra $100 or so, and I just don't want to spend the money on it. If you like my content, please support me with a thumbs up and give me a comment. Let's start talking about beds. I have a ton of YouTube shorts posted, and I'm going to start posting long form content like this almost daily to get my channel going. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.